Hi everyone, my name is Rosanne, and I'm just going to spend a few minutes this afternoon painting live with all of you. If you have any questions, let me know, or if you just like to watch, you're very welcome to do so. I like painting florals and I do wreaths a lot. So if it's your cup of tea, then continue watching and see how we do today. I'm using a silver black velvet size 6, and it's a round shaped brush. Now I like size 6 because it's the one that I learned how to use when I started with face painting. I went to a face painting convention in Orlando, Florida, way back in 2002. And the speaker said, if you can control a size 6, you can basically travel and do anything. So since then, I've been looking for size 6s, and that's all I need. All I think I need anyways. So I can use the flat of the brush, I can use the tip of the brush to make different sized strokes, and come up with the wreaths that I like doing. So if you have not joined my IG page or my YouTube page, maybe now is a good time to do so. Both IG and YouTube have the same name. It's Rosanne Raneta. And I would appreciate the love and the support, since it's, free to do so. No questions, so I won't be answering anything yet, but feel free to have yourself or have your presence felt. Okay. As flowers are typically darker in the center, I would drop more color at the center while it's wet. And right now I'm dropping a different color altogether, just to add to the I keep forgetting to talk, but anyways. So for those who are online, what time zone are you at right now? I am in Manila, Philippines. So time here is 1 p.m. Hi, Aika. So I've read I'm an intuitive painter. I don't have a design mapped out or pre-drawn, and I just go where the fluid, the water takes me. I'm doing an overhead floral. Hello, HUBES. Ubes. How do I call you? Thank you for watching. Okay, I'm just basically, for me, watercolor, or the times that I do dabble in watercolor. Hi, Sync Events PH. Hi. So the times that I dabble in watercolor are my me times. Since I do it repetitively, trying to be consistent at it, I would like to think this is a form of my meditation, my practice. And during this time, I practice how to let go of mistakes. I practice deciding colors, color combinations, strokes, locations of strokes. I practice acceptance. You know, if the design is ugly, then it's ugly for today. That way I am able to appreciate better looking paintings or output from myself in the future. At least there's a source of comparison. And as far as comparisons go, I'm only competing with myself anyway, so you know, on a day-to-day basis, I can figure out, or I can say I did something better today than yesterday. I would like to know why you're tuning in. Are you guys interested in watercolor florals, or you're just here because you chanced upon this live feed? Would be nice to know, to be less lonely, knowing what you think. Oops, you can't see that. So let me move the paper. Trying to be less lonely too. You have a very soothing voice. That's nice. Oh, thank you. There's actually somebody asleep. There's an 8-year-old who's asleep a few feet behind me. So trying to get this live going without waking somebody up. For those who are not into watercolor, what I'm doing right now is dropping paint. So while the paint is wet, and since water finds water, I'm dropping another shade or another color so that it gets mixed or combined without much help from me or without much effort on my end. And then when it dries, watercolor dries less brilliantly. It dries about 50%, or it retains 50% of its brilliance once it's dry. And I leave white spots, so to speak, to suggest highlights or areas that are touched by light. And then the paint that's already on my brush gets used for the next round so as not to waste it. So I'm using broad strokes or side strokes. Let's see. So the painting gets done when I have a wreath. So based on my average time, a painting can take me anywhere from 25 to about 50 minutes, depending on the size of the brush and depending on the size of the flowers that I paint. So since this rose is already dry, I can paint over it without much issue, without the paint mixing with each other. And this technique is called glazing. Okay, and let's mix it with fuchsia and come up with a purple. Let's just finish all the paint on the palette. The nice thing about watercolor is that it's easy to reconstitute or revisit. It doesn't, if it dries out, just add water and it's good to go. So a container of paint, even if it's expensive to buy, will take you years to finish. And so you're not wasting anything. The paint is very, very brilliant. I'm using, by the way, a Korean brand. It's called Shinhan. I bought it off the internet. And had it delivered to me. Somebody was selling her pants, so she could have more funds for her summer class, was it? And so this container just the paints were about 1,000, and then the container I asked for it also. She charged me, I think, 300 plus the delivery fee. I would say I spent no more than 1,500. In US dollars, that would be less than 30 US dollars. So the flower petals I'm doing right now do not belong to any specific flower. It's just a generic shape. So it's just, I would like to think like a hint. It's a hint of the the idea of other flowers out there is in this painting. Okay, of course in the beginning it's nothing great, but it actually turns out pretty well. Let's see if I can move my camera a bit. I did that earlier this morning, and hello ENGGZ. All the questions in my head you get to answer without me asking. Thank you, haha. Yep. You're welcome. So I painted something early this morning so I could load it, or I could put it on my on my YouTube channel as a real-time video. Okay, just ask away. If I can catch the question while I'm painting, I'd be happy to answer. Hold on, how come this is not as stable as it was earlier? Hold on. Let me just lift this and lower this. And we're back, okay. So I forget what color is on my paintbrush. Let's put it here to be safe. Okay. So for those who are interested in finding more of my videos, they are on my YouTube channel. It's called Rosanne Araneta, just as it's spelled here in my IG page. Okay, so I'm just going to mix whatever is on my palette. You will also notice some artists, they don't like wasting their paint, so they go and do leftover paint challenges. Okay, so I will do the leaves at the end. I consider the leaves as fillers. So when I'm satisfied with how many flowers or flower petals I have, that's when I add the leaves. Okay, let's try an aquamarine. I'm just mixing it all up. There's no particular color palette that I'm after today. So for this one, let's just go long. And then I'm returning to this section and I will darken the center. I will drop some paint. And let that be. So you will notice I turn my paper around often, and that's to ensure that I don't brush against the wet spots. Okay, hold on. Let's use what's here. And let's mix it with the teal. Let's come up with an interesting color. Ooh, it's almost green. But let's finish this one. Okay, wait, I'll move my water so that I can get to this section of the paper onto the camera. Okay, I don't know if you should congratulate me, but this is actually, hate that. Let's see if we can fix that. We will wet it and brush it off. There you go. Success. Did you get formal training in watercolor painting? No. I am, if I must boast, one of those naturally skilled people. You give me something, I set my mind to it, I start working with it. However, I did try taking a few classes on boatscapes, seascapes, waterscapes, what else? There, that's it. But I do not use the techniques that I learned. I find them pretty different from my comfort zone, which is, of course, won't necessarily help me grow. But as I said, to me, painting is expression. And I'm just here to have fun with the strokes. Painting class is like a roller coaster ride. It is very exciting, especially when you're waiting for instructions from the teacher online and your painting is starting to dry. Not nice. It's a not nice feeling when you want certainty. That's something I discovered I need to have all the time. So this gives me certainty. I control my strokes. I control my happiness. But at least, I can paint a jar and fruits and whatnot, because I tried taking classes. But not for this. This one, I figured it out on my own. And I like what I'm doing as is. Okay, where else? So I'm looking for sections that are not, how do you say, symmetrical, and I'm trying to add symmetry, but what I like doing is adding or finishing or rounding out the symmetry using leaves later on. That's what I will do second to last. Okay. I have not put any leaves on this rose. Let's add some. Remember, we are top view, so all the leaves would look triangular from the top. Some long, some short, some thin, some wide. Handmade with Love by V. Hello. Ooh, what's the... I'm going to move the... I'm trying to read the question. Okay. Hi. Okay, I'm just painting and I'm not doing anything in particular that is recognizable. I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm just being present. I'm not going to stress about what it should look, what it could look, and so forth. I'm just playing. And hello, Princess DJ Boy, if I got that right. Hi. Okay, so far I'm trying to get some form of symmetry going so that I can get an oblong, I guess. So now that I have a lot of flowers on my paper, by the way, I'm just using student grade paper. It is about 190 grams, so it's not very absorbent, but it's, I bought a lot when the pandemic started and the lockdown hit, so I have a lot to practice on. Haha. Anyways, now I think I can go to doing leaves. Okay, let's see. I could play with one kind of leaf shape for the rest of the session. I could, but let's see. Sometimes I change my mind. So for those who are into painting, you can really make very thin lines using the tip of your paintbrush. If you lay it flat, I wasn't successful with that one, but if you lay it flat, you can get very good instant leaf shapes. So easy enough to do. Just lay your brush flat and you get a nice leaf. So I'm jumping from section to section so that I don't touch it with I don't touch the wet paint with my palm and destroy any good vibes that I've created so far. So for those who have just joined in, I tend to use up as much of the paint on the palette as possible. We painters, we never clean this up because this is usable paint or reusable paint. And even if I start with just these colors, I end up with a million possible colors in the end. Okay, if the video is pausing, it's because somebody's trying to call me and I've been ending the call just so I can continue with the live session. So whoever you are, I'm sorry. If you'd like to join me again next week, or if you'd like to join me at all and watch me paint or learn how to paint, all you need to do is DM. Hello, Bookhamster. What? Sorry, I can't see well from my angle. But hi. Okay, so far I'm using the same leaf shape. And I'm using the leftover paint. So at some point, they all turn green. I don't know if you noticed. So I'm just going to collate or get as much of the green as possible. I'm going to turn the paper around again and work on another section. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. Here. So what am I really doing when I paint? I am practicing how to relax. I just learned that what you practice, you become good at. So I am mindfully trying to relax. I'm mindfully trying to control my reactions to the success or to the failure of each stroke that I make. I am mindfully celebrating small wins, noticing that each stroke is pretty, each stroke brings me joy, each stroke is intentional. So what brings you joy? Joy is fleeting, but joy over time is happiness. So I am compiling all my joyful moments so I can say that I have lived a happy life. I don't know if you've noticed, painting is more a philosophical output for me. And it brings out this type of monologue. From me. Sorry. Well, sorry, not sorry, really. Okay, so I'm still moving around, making sure that dry sections get a little love, and the wet sections are off limits for the moment, just so my hand does not destroy any of the painted sections. You will see some areas are with very dark paint, other areas are lightly painted. That's of course because of how much water I load onto the paintbrush. Okay. Still using the same leaf size, leaf shape. I have not changed it. Hello, Lisa or Liza. Oh, it's Lisa. Belated happy birthday. Sorry, did not read and it did not register as quickly as I would have wanted. Was there ever a time when you get impatient with the process? Yes, in the beginning. But when you realize the nature of watercolor, you start to, accept. Like children. When you don't know, 3-year-olds are really curious and repetitive. You tend to be very impatient with them in dealing with them. But when you realize that's how they really are, there's a certain tolerance that suddenly, well, maybe not suddenly, but you learn how to tolerate stuff. And so I'm almost done with this one. The last few steps would be to add filaments and pollen to the centers of the flowers. So I'm going to use a thick yellow. I will load it with as much paint as I can, and I will work only on the dry flowers first. Okay, so I'm going to drop yellow, on the dark flowers. On the lighter ones, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to work with with the darker color. Okay, and then let's use a purplish, an awkward purple for the lighter ones, like this one. Just adding dots. So I have, here I see one that's not yet dotted. Okay, I'm looking at all of them, checking to see if everything got yeah, that's it. Hello Chibi, Danny. I think I'm done with this one anyways. Well, I hope you liked what you saw today as far as process goes. It took us roughly 45 minutes for this one, since I was also talking at the same time. I got a little derailed at times. But anyway, this is actually wreath number 247. And thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more of these, join me on YouTube, Rosanne Araneta. Like and subscribe, please. And if you'd like to learn during a one-on-one class or a group class on Zoom, I'm also available. DM. Alrighty, bye everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a nice weekend.